What's up guys, Jake here, and today I'm going to be sharing my top 40 iOS 13 jailbreak tweaks. Okay guys, so the first tweak that we are going to be checking out is called AirPay. It changes the normal Apple Pay screen and it makes it into a smaller form factor. As you can see here, if I do open Apple Pay, as you can see it is now at the bottom here and it shows the phone, and it also adds a light and dark mode. So this means it does not take up the entire screen. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called AwesomePageDots. So as you can see here on the home screen, if you look at the bottom where my page dots are, you can see there's an animation when I swipe left and right at the bottom here. So that is called AwesomePageDots. Okay, so the next tweak, if we go to our notification center, it's called Axon. Okay, so as you can see, if I tap on the app icon, it shows the notification, and if you have multiple notifications, it will also show that as well. So the next tweak is called Barmoji. So if I am texting somebody, let's say I am texting, well, I'll just text myself. So if I am texting myself, you can see these are your most frequently used emojis, and you can slide over it and you have multiple different pages. So the next tweak is called Batterynotch, and as you can see at the top here, it shows my battery, and so right now it's at 56%, and so that's why it's sort of this yellow color. But when it's at 100%, this is all the way at the top of the notch, and same on this side, and it's bright green, and so it changes depending on your battery life. Okay, so the next tweak is called BioProtectXS, and if we try to hop into settings here, you can see it says BioProtect, and unless I show my face, or if you're using a device with a fingerprint scanner, unless you use Touch ID, the application will not open. So if I put my face in the camera here, as you can see now, it did open. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called Blots, and so as you can see at the top of my phone, there are these dots, and so this lets you know if you have a notification in a specific app. So this app up here could be the mail app, and so it sometimes corresponds, a little bit glitchy, but it sometimes corresponds to the app color of the notification, and if you do tap on it, it will bring you into that app. So like the yellow one was FaceTime, and as you can see it just went away because I opened the notification. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called CallBarXS. And so when someone calls you, instead of taking up the entire screen and you not being able to use your phone, this gets rid of that. Okay guys, so as you can see up here, someone is calling me, so I can just answer it like this. And so I can still use my phone while talking on the phone. And then if you tap on it again, it brings up these options, so like bringing up the dial pad, and you can mute yourself, speaker. The next tweak is called Carrierizer. So as you can see, when I turn on my phone, up in the top left, it says iFixer Pro 5G. That is not a real carrier, at least not yet. In the settings, you can customize your carrier name. So the next tweak is called Clean Player. So if I go to my music app, and then if I play a song, and I turn off my phone, you can see there's a lot of stuff that is missing from my music player, and it does that too when I'm in my control center. It takes away some of the controls so that it does look cleaner. The next tweak is called Colorflow 5. So if we head over to the music app, and we can select a playlist. So if we go to today's chill music and we press on play, and we go up here, you can see that the colors are actually matching the music artwork, and if we skip to the next song, it does the same thing. Same with the next one after that. and then it will also do that on the lock screen as well. So the next tweak after that is called Complications, and this gives you these widgets that are on your lock screen. So as you can see here, this is the battery on my phone. This will tell me how many messages I have. If someone texts me, this tells me the date, and this will tell me when like the sun is going to rise tomorrow. And you can customize these by 3D touching on them. And so here's like stocks and reminders, and you can even choose like other apps that you want as well. The next tweak is called Cylinder. So as you can see, if I go through my pages on my home screen, it has this cool animation. There are lots of other animations as well. If you go into the settings app, you can select which ones you want, and you can also put it on a random mode so it will cycle through all of them. So the next tweak is called Digital Battery 13, and so as you can see in the top right, it says 53%, and it's not just a battery icon. This will tell you the actual percentage. The next tweak is called Flame. So if we head over to Cydia and then we try to add a source, and you copy a bunch of sources but you don't want to individually put them in, you can tap on Edit and Add, and as you can see, it adds another thing called Batch Mode, where anything that's in your clipboard, it will recognize any of the URLs, and then you can add all of your sources like that. Also, if we head over to Installed and we swipe over to one of our tweaks like this, it gives you a bunch of different options when queuing stuff, reinstalling, or deleting tweaks. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called Floating Dock Plus 13. So as you can see on the bottom here, I have a iPad-like dock style. And let's say I'm in Safari. I can swipe up with the dock and I hold down on the Messages app, like so. I can just drag it in here, and I have two applications in one, and then if you go to the top and you drag down again, you can put it into a up and down view, so you can be browsing the web here. Let's say I'm in Google, and then here I can be texting somebody. And then also you can resize the pages like this, and you can also turn it landscape as well. Sometimes it does glitch out, but it will come back just like this. Okay guys, so this is Fluide, and so this will tell you when you try to turn up the volume in another app or on the home screen, it will also tell you what song you're listening to. So if we press play, and then let's turn up the volume, and then if I head over to Safari, you will see if I turn down the volume, it says the name of the song that's right there. So I can show you guys this one more time once it goes away. So it just pops up for a second and then it does go away. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called GoodWiFi. So if we head over to our settings app and we go to Wi-Fi, as you can see here, it lists the MAC address for all of these, and it tells you the type of Wi-Fi network it is and how strong your signal is. So right now mine is -63. And I'm on a WPA mix network. Next up on the list is a fun one. It's called Gravitation. So if I take my device and I shake it, all my apps will fall, and as you tilt your device, your apps will go along with it. And then let's say you want to put them back to normal, you just shake your device again and they go back to normal. Even if you shake it and they come down and then you open Safari and you go home, they will still be like that. So the next tweak is called HapticKeys, and along with that it's called a haptic passcode. So if we are in Safari and we're in Google and we're typing, the keys will vibrate as you type. And then along with that, if we go to our lock screen and we swipe up and we're in the passcode, it also vibrates. I know you guys can't really hear it, but it is vibrating. Okay guys, so the next tweak is called HideYourApps. And so if we go into settings, and I'm going to go to my tweaks and down to HideYourApps, I can select an app that I want. So let's say I don't want to see the music app. After I've selected it, I can respring. So I'll be back once my device has resprung. Okay guys, so I'm back at the home screen, and as you can see down here, my music app was there and it's hidden. And if I type music here, it does come up though, so it doesn't completely delete it. Okay, so the next tweak is called Homeplus. And so as you can see, my icons are 3 across, and they're also moved down. So how I'm doing this is with Homeplus. So if I go to the top left and I swipe down, it gives you a bunch of different options for your icons. So this right here is like the rows and the columns. And then this is vertical and horizontal spacing. And then at the top we have the top offset and left offset. And then at the bottom here gives you some options. So for icons, you can hide the icon labels, badges, the labels in the folders, and then there's stuff for the dock and some other all-around settings as well. To get out of this, you just swipe on the top left again. Okay, so the next tweak we have here is called Jellyfish. So if I go to my lock screen, right here, this is Jellyfish. And so I think it's nice because it tells you the weather at the top, and then it tells you it shows you the clock and then the date as well in big letters and numbers. And then it also matches with certain parts of the background as well. So as you can see, this is purple, like some, and bluish, kind of like some parts of my background. Okay, so the next tweak is called Mitsuha Forever. So if I open my music app and I play some music, as you can see here, there's a music visualizer. And so this goes to the beat of the music. This works with Spotify, the music app, and it works with SoundCloud and Deezer as well. So as you can see, it also does it on the lock screen and in the lock screen mini player. And then it sometimes, depending on what tweaks you have installed, will do it in your control center music toggle as well. The next tweak is called MobileGoose, so I will turn on my MobileGoose. They have a desktop version of this as well, and so this is just an annoying little goose that crawls around your phone. And if you go into the settings for MobileGoose, you can install different mods. So one of them is the name tag, so I can turn that on, and then it adds a little name to my goose, and you can customize that as well. And then there's also a MobileGoose control center tweak, so you can turn on and off your MobileGoose. Okay, so the next tweak is called PencilChargingIndicator. So if I take my charger and I plug in my phone, and as you can see, it says Jake's iPhone 50%, and that's just like the Apple Pencil with the iPad Pro. Okay, so the next tweak is called PowerModule. So if I go into my control center and I 3D touch on the PowerModule, this gives you different options to respring, go into safe mode, shut down, do a UI cache, reboot, or you can go to your lock screen, and this is just a little handy control center module. The next tweak that you have been waiting for a long time is called Prysm, and this is the redesigned control center. So this will tell you like the percentages of your brightness, of your volume, puts your connectivity buttons all into one row. You can still 3D touch on everything. And then it also makes your media different as well. And at the top, if you tap on the battery, it turns on low power mode. And then also if you turn on and off do not disturb, that turns it off up there in the top left as well. So this is Prysm. The next tweak is called QuickLS. So if we jump to the lock screen / notification center, as you can see over here, I do have my flashlight toggle, which I do find very handy, but the camera toggle does not make any sense because you can just swipe over like this to get to the camera. So instead, you can replace it with as many apps as you want. So I have Spotify, Cydia, the Home app, and Snapchat. So if I just tap on the Home app, it will open it up. And that is QuickLS. The next tweak is called SafeShutdown. And so this is if your battery is like at 5% or lower and you don't want to lose your jailbreak, you can turn on Safe Shutdown. Once you enter Safe Shutdown mode, it puts your phone on almost like power reserve on the Apple Watch. So it turns off your screen until you do plug it in, and it saves as much battery as it can. The next tweak is called SendDelay. So if I accidentally am typing quickly and it types the wrong thing, and let's say I put this in, if I press on the send button, this bar goes quickly and I can just tap it. You can set it for a different duration, and as you can see, it stops the text message if I tap on the little up arrow again. The next tweak on our list is called Shuffle. And so if I head over to settings, as you can see, it puts, if I scroll all the way down, it only goes up to privacy, and then up here it sorts it into different categories. So this is all my tweaks, and then it also gives you some advanced preferences for jailbreaking. This is your regular apps, and then if we go to system apps, this is all of the iOS apps that come pre-installed. So the next tweak is called Shy Labels 13. So if I'm scrolling through my apps and then I wait a second, you can see that the app labels do disappear. So that is Shy Labels 13. The next tweak is called SmallSiri. So if I hold down my side button, this is Siri, and I can swipe down on it to make it bigger. And so this is SmallSiri, so it doesn't take up your entire screen, and you can still use your phone while you are using Siri, and the gestures all work as well. If I swipe up, it does close Siri. The next tweak is called Snowboard. So as you can see, all my app icons are not the stock ones. They are themed. So right now I'm using the theme Lotus, and so you can install different themes, and so it just makes your phone look cooler than the regular stock iOS apps. The next tweak is called Speed Intensifier. So when you open your apps and when you're just using your phone all around, it does make it a bit faster. You can adjust the speed of how you want the apps to open and your UI to be. The next tweak is called Springtomize 5. So if I go to my tweaks and I scroll down to Springtomize 5, it gives you a bunch of different options with animations. You can also make it faster within here. So if I do this, it'll make it faster than normal. I can also do my lock animation as well. I can change it to like an old TV. So I'll set the speed to 1. And then in order to make that active, I will respring. But you can also do different things for your status bar, like custom carrier. And there's just a lot of customizability with this tweak. So if I respring, apply the different changes. Also, if you did notice, it said power off protection. That's another thing with BioProtect, which is pretty cool, where it will prompt you for your face or your finger when shutting down or respringing. So as you can see, if I press the power button on my device, it's like an old TV as it closes. I can show you guys one more time. As you can see, also when it turns back on, so this goes off slowly. Also when I turn it on, it does that slowly as well, but you can customize the speed on that as well. So the next tweak is called Sliff. So as you can see, my music player is very tiny, and this is due to Sliff. You can make it different sizes, but right now I do have it on the small setting. So the next tweak is called Volumizer. So if we head over to settings and we go to our tweaks and down to Volumizer, if you go into it, this gives you different features that can make your volume be louder than normal. And it also does give you some other options, like when you're turning up your volume, how many steps it goes. So this is an all-around pretty cool tweak. So the last tweak that we will be talking about is called Xen HTML and Xen Info, which gives you different widgets for your lock screen and home screen. So as you can see here, mine says, it will say the day. So mine says Sunday, and then in the middle there's like the time and the date. And so Xen Info tells Xen HTML where your location is and what time zone you're in, and so that's what Xen Info does, and then Xen HTML is all of the different widgets. So if we go into settings, here's Xen HTML. So the lock screen here I have is disabled, but right now for my foreground widgets I do have this one, which tells you the time and the day and the date. And then if you tap on the little settings gear, depending on the one that you have, the widget, it gives you different options for it. So this is like a check rain one, and so this is Xen HTML. Okay guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.